Hey y'all, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Listen, I was in the background kicking my kid out of my office because he was tripping. He was doing the most. Y'all come on in here, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Hopefully, everybody is doing well, doing good. I figured I would come on here live to explain what is going on with the TaylorMade HVC 2022. I don't know what's going on with my lighting, but it is irritating the mess out of me. I don't, that didn't help. Hey, Deuce, can you turn that backlight on, please? That helped a little bit. Okay, cool. Thank you. Um, so I wanted to come on here and explain to you what is going on with the HVC 2022. So y'all come on in here and say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Go ahead and share. It is the boys' lunchtime. So I wanted to take this time and opportunity to speak to you, talk to you about it. Okay. So y'all come on in here, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Hey, Shara. I think that's how you say it. If that's not how you say it, let me know. Okay, I love the hashtag Guru Click. Hey, Kimberly. Okay, so we are in our second week of homeschooling here at the Taylor House. And so far, so good. Yanni started college today, so she's got her first day of college. She just took off for that. Y'all pray for traveling grace because it is pouring down here in Texas, in North Texas. And so I want her to get there safely. But she is doing that. The boys are on lunch break, so I figured I would come live in the meantime and talk to you guys. Okay. So do me a favor, share to all the homeschool groups, share on your page so we can talk about this, so we can have this conversation. Also, what I will do while they are on lunch, I will do a live Q&A for you as well. So you're more than welcome to ask questions once we get started. Okay. So do me a favor. If you're in the comments, throw me a heart, purple heart, throw me a fire symbol, something to let me know that you're there. Hey, Leonda. I hope that's how you say that. Um, but throw some hearts, whatever the case may be. Let me know that you are here. So let's talk about the HVC 2022 Back to School Edition. Okay, so I'm doing something that I have never done before. Y'all know how I feel about y'all. Y'all know how I feel about you in these homeschool streets, right? I want you to be successful. And I don't want you to struggle, right? I don't want you to be out here struggling alone. So, what I decided to do was bring some options back as far as the HVC 2022. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that, then let me explain that to you. Okay. Every year I do a virtual conference. It's called Taylor Made Homeschooling Virtual Conference. And it's spelled Taylor, like my last name, but it kind of is a play on words for Taylor, Tailor, which means basically to find your custom made fit, right? And so that's what my whole thing is about. Like, that's the way that I'm like passionate about homeschooling. The way that it works so well is that you have to find your custom made fit, right? Like, it's important that you find your fit. So what you do, and I tell everybody this every time, you take out the meat and you spit out the bones, right? So you eat the meat and you spit out the bones. So what I do is I try to provide a central place for everyone to come and get all the information that they need, take what they need and leave what they don't. And so that's what the HVC is, the Homeschooling Virtual Conference is. So I've done it. This is now the second year. And this year was better than last year. I'm not going to lie to you. The speakers were amazing. The topics were amazing. It was great. And so then we had our live panels, right? So in the conference, on top of getting recorded sessions that you have access to for a year, you get live panel discussions during that time. So we do them 2 times a day, and we do live panel discussions. That particular piece of the HVC this year was amazing. It was amazing. Like, I can't even say it. Just even me as being a mom, a homeschool guru, whatever the case may be, trying to find my niche and do the things that I need to do. Being on a panel with these ladies was amazing. My favorite panel by far was, I believe it was the one about working in homeschooling. And what it shifted to from working in homeschooling was mental health and homeschooling. Like, it kind of shifted halfway through the conversation about mental health and how we manage it all and all that stuff. It was amazing. Like, I'm not even lying to you, because there were several speakers on there that came in the panel and were very transparent and honest about their fights and the things that they have to deal with, including myself. Y'all know I've told y'all, I've talked about it. I fight depression. I, do what I got to do. And so we had a heart-to-heart conversation in the panel discussion about mental wellness and just being good and okay for our babies. And it was amazing, y'all. I'm not going to lie. It blessed me personally, okay? So what I decided to do was I decided to bring back the HBC 2022 panels, okay? So what I'm going to do is starting next week, I'm going to do live panels Monday through Friday. Okay. Monday through Friday, not every Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday of next week at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I picked that time because right about that time, I believe everyone is at lunch or kind of can take a break or whatever the case may be. But what I'm going to do is, so there's 3 different options that you have. You can join us for the panels every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's one package. Then there's a second level package. That package is the gold package. That package would allow you to have the live panel discussions we'll have next week, but then it will also allow you to have access to the HVC 2022. So you get all of the sessions from the HVC 2022, and you'll get the recorded panels from that conference as well, okay? Then on top of that, there is a platinum package. The platinum package is pretty much all wrapped in one, right? So you have the live panels, the back to school panels all next week at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Then you'll have access to the HBC 2022, all of the sessions, all of the recorded panels. Then you'll have access to the sessions from 2021, so HBC 2021 and their live panels, right? So it's just a plethora of information for you to succeed in these homeschool streets. There are some returning speakers. There are some sessions that y'all, I'm not gonna lie. If I had to say, out of all the work that I have done for this community, I would say that the virtual conference is probably the one that's closest and dearest to my heart, like just right there. And a lot of hard work was put in there. And then we had some amazing speakers this year, some amazing speakers. Okay. So that's what we're working with. Okay. So I just want to put that out there because I put the flyer out there, and I'm not gonna lie. Typically, when I put my flyers out there, I just start changing stuff, and not a lot of people ask questions. But when I did that last night, I started getting messages and I started getting comments like, hey, what's going on? How do you sign up? How do you do that? So I wanted to come on here live and tell you what's going on. Okay. And so what you're going to do, if you need more information, okay, go to the website. I will put it it'll come across in a banner, right? Okay. Go to the website, tailormadehomeschooling.com. All the packages are listed. The platinum for all 3, the gold for 2, and the silver for the panel discussions. Go there and get all the information that you need as far as that's concerned. Okay. So I wanted to come out there and specifically give you that information so you had everything that you need. But then now I want to do some live Q&A in the meantime. And I'm not going to lie, if nobody asks questions, it's okay, because I'm just going to continue to work and do whatever it is that I need to do. But I want to make sure that you guys are good to go in these homeschool streets. Hey, Kimberly, thank you so much for the hearts and the fire. Hey, Emily, thank you so much for joining me on YouTube. So basically, that's what we're working with, okay? So let's tell you about my journey so far. I know that I have been extremely quiet the last couple of weeks since we started homeschooling. And part of that is that I'm going nuts. No, I'm not. I'm not going nuts, but that picture was kind of legitimate, right? Part of it is that I'm trying to get everybody back in the mix. Ayana did start college, and so I had to kind of make sure she was good to go, and I messed up on some stuff and had to get that figured out, okay? And so that happened. And then the boys, the way that we do the boys when we start back up for the school year is we take an opportunity to kind of get back into the schedule, the normalcy of school. And so it took me a while to kind of take a moment to spend some time with them, get their schedules situated. And then also what we did as well was we ease into our school year. And so right now, this month of August, although we have started school, we are currently mostly reviewing previous year stuff because they took off a super long break. And so that's what we're doing. So today we got up today. Our schedule is set. And the reason why is because my boys work very well with a schedule. And it can be a loose schedule, but they have to have some type of schedule as to when something needs to happen. So it's not like, 8:30 to 9, 9 to 9:30. It's nothing like that, but it's more so of blocks of time. And that's how I get it to work for our family, especially with me trying to do stuff for our businesses. And so the boys wake up around 8:30 every day. They wake up at 8:30. From 8:30 to 10:30, they can kind of do what they need to do, right? So they brush their teeth, wash their face. My one child has to take meds and do stuff every day. They do their chores for the day. I have them do those in the morning because afternoons get really busy with us for training and all that good stuff. So they'll do their chores, they'll get breakfast, they'll do whatever it is that they want to do in their first 2 hours. And then after the 2 hours, they will sit down and do their work at around 10:30. Okay. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Robin. Hey, Allison. Thank you so much for joining me. Um, and so the boys will do their schoolwork they'll get started at 10:30, 10:30 to 12:15, 12:30. They are doing their schoolwork, and then we take a lunch break. And so that's what they're on right now. They're on their lunch break. And typically during that period of time, I am working or trying to get some stuff ready to go. And then after lunch, they get an hour of lunch. They can do whatever they want to. I believe Mason is asleep right now, being very honest with you. Deuce just fixed him some lunch and he's chilling in the living room. They can do anything they want to, minus watching TV or whatever the case may be. And that's kind of we play that by ear. Sometimes I let them watch TV, especially if it's a good day. Sometimes I don't. And then we'll come back and hit it again around 1 o'clock, 1:15, and start finish the rest of our day. So, and then after that, we do trainings and all that good stuff. So that's how our day typically goes. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead. I don't have any questions in the comments. So I guess what y'all going to have to do is just watch me work. I mean, if y'all not going to ask no questions, right? Y'all going to have to see what it is that I do in the meantime. So some of the things people ask all the time about our schedule. So I just gave you a list of our schedule. I gave you exactly how we work. The courses that the boys are currently taking for their character ed, they're doing some studies, some Bible studies on that, plus journal entry. We'll have to do that when they get back from lunch. They're each taking their respective math course. Okay, so they each have their math course. They are doing their ELA in language arts, which includes reading for 30 minutes. So they're required to read 30 minutes a day regardless. They will do some reading comprehension to help them remember some things, and they will do probably some worksheets in the meantime to kind of, again, we're in review stage to prepare for the next year. So they'll probably just be doing a bunch of those type of worksheets right now. They will be taking Spanish again. Those classes start in next week. So they'll be taking Spanish. They will be doing that through Homeschool Spanish. If you're not familiar with them, I absolutely love Homeschool Spanish. Let me see if I can get you a link. You can actually get a free class with them right now. Let's see. By using this link, let me go ahead and get it. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, Deuce, it's hot in here. Can you turn the AC down? He's going to fuss at me because I just asked him to turn it up. But yeah, they'll be doing Spanish through Homeschool Spanish. Let me find that for you, if I can find it. So they'll be doing that, and then they'll be doing history. The book that we were going to use, I think I've talked to you guys about this before. The African American and Latinx history is too advanced. We started reading it. We started doing what it is that we needed to do, but it was entirely too advanced for them. So we have pulled back. Study. We're going to start with the Tulsa Race Massacre and go from there. But y'all, that book, I'm not gonna lie to you, the Latino X, it was just too much. It was taking us a lot to dive through it. We were having to break it down too much. And so maybe in maybe a few months, maybe a year or so, maybe we can revisit. But right now, at this moment, it was too much for us. So we put that down. and we're going to we're going to go a different route on that. Okay. So they'll be doing history. They're doing Spanish. They are doing biology as well. So that's their science course. And then we are doing, what are we doing, y'all? We are doing ACT and SAT prep, trying to get them prepared. Okay. So that's what their schedule looks like. Hey, Emily. It's not a busy schedule, but it is kind of a busy schedule. They won't do all of the classes every single day. They will do math, and I'm trying to find my actual schedule right now, but because I have 50 million tabs open, I can't find it right now because life. Let me see if I can do it a different way. Let's see. Here we go. So they will do the study and SAT prep as well, trying to get them ready. I will probably do something simple to the effect of either like grammar for the day, like the reading part of it for the day, the writing part for the day, math for the day, and we'll do that 2 times a week. So basically, the character ed, the math, and the ELA, that happens every single day. So all 5 days of the week, those happen every single day. Okay. Spanish happens 4 days of the week, and I have pushed that out, right? I'm not teaching Spanish. Somebody else is teaching Spanish because I don't know it. Okay. My goal is to learn it with them, but I'm not going to lie to you. I tend to get distracted when it's time to do so, and I don't do it. That's just me being honest. And so then I have history on Mondays and Wednesdays, and we'll do that for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then we have biology on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And again, we'll do that between for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then on Thursdays and Fridays is when we will do the SAT and the ACT prep along with studying. And we'll do that for about 30 to 45 minutes on Thursdays and Fridays. So although we have all of those classes, right? I'm counting, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they have a total of 7 courses that they are taking this year. We're not doing every single course every single day. And that's another way people can, think about it, right? And so although my kids are only spending 30 minutes per subject, on those days where we're alternating the subjects like biology and history and SAT prep, those particular days will be a little bit longer. So whereas math may only be 30 minutes a day, history, because it's only 2 times a week, will be 45 minutes to an hour when it's time to do it. And that's how we make up for that. And that's how you could do everything, honestly. So say, for instance, you didn't want to do math and English every day, you wanted to alternate it, you could do English, you could do, let's say, you could do math on Mondays and Wednesdays for an hour a day, and English on Tuesdays and Thursdays for an hour a day, and it still equals up to the same amount of time that we're doing it here. And then on Fridays, you could have review day or makeup day or whatever the case may be. So it still adds up. And again, my kids use timers, and because of their age, they should be somewhere, my younger will be around 30 minutes. My older should be somewhere around 45 minutes per subject doing whatever it is that they need to do. But it shouldn't take like all day to do your schoolwork. Okay. So if that's happening, if you're spending all day doing homeschool, there's a bunch of different things that you need to look at. You need to look at the curriculum and how it's working for you. You need to look at your attitude. You need to look at what you're doing if you're being a distraction. And when I say that respectably, like I say that with the best of intention. One of the things that I learned personally was that I was the distraction, right? So say, for instance, I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, hey, hey Deuce, like I just did. Hey Deuce, go turn up the thermostat. So he goes and turns up the thermostat. That's what, 5 minutes, maybe a couple minutes, somewhere around there. Hey Deuce, did you start your laundry? He goes and he starts his laundry, right? That takes about 15 or 20 minutes. He comes back and sits down, right? Hey Deuce, did you do this? And he goes and does it, and then comes back, and that's about another 15 minutes. If I'm constantly doing that, if I'm constantly being a distraction for him, then it's going to elongate his day. It's going to elongate whatever it is that he's working on. So those are some questions you need to ask yourself. If you're spending more than 4 to 6 hours in your school day, then you need to be asking yourself if it's the curriculum based off of your child hating it because it's boring and it's not working. You need to ask yourself if you are causing the distraction by being a parent, right? And asking them to do 1,000 things when they can wait and do it later on. And then you need to ask also if your kid is distracted, right? So those are 3 questions you definitely need to ask yourself, okay? So once again, is it the curriculum? Is it you? Are you the distraction, or is it the child? Is the child just distracted? And so those 3 things have different things that you may need to do to make, things okay, right? So that means for, if you're the distraction, then instead of telling them every 5 minutes to do something, why don't you make a list and give it to them after schoolwork is done? That's one way to solve it. If your child is distracted for whatever reason, find out what those distractions are. And your kids will tell you, like, if you, and not necessarily like voice what the distraction is, but what will happen is the kids will begin to, like, if you sit there and watch them, you'll begin to see the things that they see that are distracting them. Like, for instance, for Mason, anything's a distraction. And so if he has anything in front of him, if his dad comes into the office, if his phone rings because of some random thing, or if my phone dings, anything like that can be a distraction for him. So it's important, because I know that it's important for me to remove those distractions from him. And so what is it that you can do to help your child focus more, right? One of the things I have to do with Mason, I still have to do, and I have no issues with it. Hey, Sabrina, thank you so much for joining me. One of the things that we still have to do with Mason is Mason does increments of time. So sometimes it's difficult for him to sit for 30 minutes and get schoolwork done. As far as the distraction, it becomes a issue for him, right? And then he gets frustrated because he's trying to focus but can't focus, and he feels like he's letting me down. And so one of the things that I have determined is I try to keep an eye on him. And when I notice that he is consistently getting distracted, and it's just by things that he can't really do anything about, I will pause in between his day and give him a break. Okay. And so I will say to him, hey, let's take a 5-minute break, and then you can come back to it. Okay. Go do whatever it is you need to do. That may be him running in circles. That may be him doing whatever, right? Like taking that opportunity to break up the monotony of what's going on. Hey, Donaldson. And so that's one of the ways that I solve it for him. Let's see. For me, again, I write down a list instead of giving him a list of things to do. Instead of asking him to do things throughout the school day, I'll make a list and then give him that list to do. That's another way that you can do it. If it is the curriculum, okay, we've talked about this, okay, you don't have to keep using a curriculum just because you purchased it. I know it hurts when you buy something and you think it's going to work and you have the highest of hopes, and then you're like, oh, this is going to work, and then your kids get it and it doesn't work. I get it. I understand. However, comma, you do not need to keep doing it. That's not how that needs to work for you. And so what I would say to you in those moments is that when you're having the moments where you are miserable and the curriculum is making you miserable, I've told you guys, most curriculums do a money back guarantee if it's within a certain period of time. Okay. And the way that I get around this is I don't have my kids write into the curriculum at all. My kids do not write in books at all. Workbooks, books, they don't write in them. And the reason why is because if I need to return it, I want to have that option, okay? And I don't want to have to erase a bunch of stuff, and I don't want the pages all folded, and I don't want the pages torn out, anything like that. So my kids do not write in workbooks. They use a spiral with whatever it is that they're using, okay? And so that's how we do it in our house. So you can return the curriculum, right? Most places have a 30-day money back guaranteed. Okay. So most curriculums have that. Hey, friend. And so you can do that. The second thing that you can do is you can resell it to some other homeschooler that may like it or may be looking for it, right? And I'm saying this with all honesty, but I'm being very extremely transparent, right? The curriculum didn't work for you. It's not your concern whether or not it works for somebody else, right? And so if they want it and they're interested in it, what you can say to them is, hey, I'm willing to sell it to you. It didn't work for us, but it's not your concern whether or not it worked for them, okay? And so that's something to think about, right? Find another homeschooler that may need or use whatever it is that you use, right? So the money back guaranteed is one. And then, the selling it to another person. And another thing too is there are plenty of homeschoolers out here that would love curriculum, but may not be able to afford it. And so what is the harm? And it may be a big harm, so don't take it as me judging you. But what is the harm? For me, certain curriculums, like if I spend under a certain amount, I'm like, somebody else may not be able to afford that. Let me go ahead and give this away. And so I will give it away knowing full well that somebody may not be able to afford it. And that doesn't happen all the time. I'm not lying to you saying like I do it all the time. Like last year in our local city, I emptied out all of my curriculum, all of my books. I loaded them in my car. We met at the local library, and all I said to them was, I have a table, it's set up. Come here, get what you want. That's exactly what I did. I set up a table at the back of like my trunk, put all the books across on the table. I don't have that option. So that didn't happen. And so that's something to think about. Okay. There is no reason for you to sit and continue to be with a curriculum when it is driving you absolutely nuts. None whatsoever. That freedom of homeschool. I know we do our best. I know we make our decisions the best that we possibly can when it comes to homeschooling our children, when it comes to picking a curriculum, but we don't have to sit there and sit on something that does not work for us. I tell you guys all the time, Grammar Galaxy. Grammar Galaxy is great. Okay. When it came to my kids, I did the test lessons. We did it, I think, for I think it was a total of a week, the way that it was a whole week worth of lessons. We did the week worth of lessons. The kids were excited about it. Yes, let's get it. Let's go. I purchased the 2 workbooks for Grammar Galaxy. They started working on Grammar Galaxy. Within a week or two, my kids were like, I'm over this. Like, it's too much. I just want to do my grammar. I don't want to have to imagine the story. I don't care about the galaxy. I don't care about the stars and the king. I don't care about any of that. Just give me my work. Once that happened, I was like, okay, we're done with this, right? Like, I'm not going to force you to do it. And so we had to find a different way to do things. And so that's what I'm saying to you is it sucks. Sometimes you do your best, right? And I try to be very transparent with y'all. You do your best at picking the curriculum that you think is going to work for your family, for your children. And then when you get to it, it doesn't work. Okay. And there's absolutely no reason for you to sit there and hold on to that curriculum that you know for a fact is not working for you, because you're making yourself miserable and stressed. You're making the kids miserable and stressed. And now both of y'all walking around looking at each other upside the head. What's the purpose? What's the point? What's the reason? Like, what are we doing that? Hey, friend, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. So again, hey, Aunt San, thank you so much, Aunt San, for joining me. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask them in the comments. This is a live Q&A. My boys are at lunch right now, so I figured I would come live, explain to you what is going on with the back to school edition of HVC 2022. All next week, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I have some amazing speakers come. We're going to be doing live panels on working in homeschooling, mental health and homeschooling, single parent homeschooling. Should I be homeschooling? There's another one, and I can't think of what it is. My God from Zion, what is it? But I've got a list of panels that we'll be doing, one every single day, so we can have that conversation, y'all. Okay, y'all. It's been a rough day. I'm not gonna lie to you. My baby had her first day of college today, and I am anxious. I'm excited. I'm proud. I'm a little. I don't want to say sad, but I am. Right, because my baby girl is no longer my baby girl. She is growing into an adult woman, adult lady, and that is making me anxious. All right. So if y'all have any questions, you are more than welcome to come in. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Alonda. Hey, friend. Hey, friend. Hey, Hester. Hey, Aunt San. Hey, Donaldson. Hey, Miracle. Hey, Jess. Hey, Sabrina. Hey, Lawana. Hey, Angel. Hey, Venetia. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Robin. Hey, Allison. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Leonda. Hey, Shara. I think that's it. All right. Thank you so much, friend. I'm not okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you. I am struggling today. I'm struggling. It'll be okay, though. It'll be all right. She only has one class today. And then she has some other classes the other days, but I'm not okay. I will be okay though, but I'm not okay right now. Any other questions or anything like that? Okay, so we're talking. This might, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This might be a good time for me to start going live. What do y'all think about that versus the practice times, which are difficult because life? It might be easier to go live right here. Y'all both got this. Thank you, friend. I'm stressed. I ain't gonna lie to you. And it's raining cats and dogs and cows and donkeys and pigs here in the DFW area. And so it's like flooding, flash flooding, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm anxious about all of that. But we'll see. As a matter of fact, hey, boys, you know what? I was about to tell them to check on her, but I can check. So let me check and see if she made it safely because I'm anxious about it. Let's see if she got there. Yep, she got there. She made it there about 5 minutes ago. Let's see if she's good. Lunchtime break over here as well. Oh, okay, so yeah, this might be a better time. Our babies grow fast, although the process may seem slow at specific. Yes, Sabrina, that's it. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it seems like I like, oh, I'm gonna forever be at this stage. The teenage years have been interesting for our household, especially with teenage boy. And so I'm cherishing those moments, but in the same token, I'm thinking like this kid is 16. He'll be trying to do the same thing she's doing in 2 years. And that's my first baby boy. And so that's interesting. It's very interesting. You're absolutely correct about that, right? Sometimes it seems slow, but it actually goes by really fast, right? Like I'm about to be a like a mom. She's good and you will be too. Thank you, Fran. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So that's what we're doing here. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to ask. I talked about the schedule. I talked about what we're doing for this semester. What else did I talk about? I talked about curriculum that stinks and how you can get rid of it, what you need to do. I can't think of anything else. We talked about the TaylorMade HVC 2022 Back to School Edition. Go grab it. Live panels every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Go to that website down here below, TaylorMade Homeschooling, and grab you a ticket to that. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. The panels were the best thing about the conference. I ain't gonna lie to you. I put the conference together, right? And I put two different options together, a live option and a recorded version, because I was thinking that, there may be some people that would prefer the recorded session versus the live session. Recording sessions are dope as well, but the live panels were just A1. They were top tier. Kanisa says, how do you handle when your kid is easily distracted? I try to remove distractions from them. And so what specifically, one particular kid, Mason, I have to remove all distractions, period. And I have to also realize what those distractions are. So some things that are not distractions for me or for anybody else may be for him. So I remove all distractions. I try to do my best at getting him to stay focused. If he's having a time or it's one of those days where it's just not happening, we take breaks often to kind of reset and redo whatever it is that we need to do. But typically, because he's ready to get done with the school day and he wants to have free time, he will do better at getting himself ready to go. I hope that answered your question. But you're more than welcome to ask whatever it is that you want. I'll be on here until 1, because then my boys will be back at school. Back at school. We'll be finishing school, should I say. It did. Okay, good. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a constant battle. And we can all have that conversation this weekend when we get together. There have been some personal updates as far as that particular issue is concerned. And so there may be some other steps that we need to take, but we can talk about that this weekend or whatever in our group text or whatever. But I do, most of the time, I try to remove all distractions. If I give him attention, if I put him, typically, that's my baby boy. He's spoiled. I don't even know what to say. My bad. How about that? I'll say that. My bad. He's spoiled. He typically sits right here, very close to me. And if he sees me working, a lot of times he'll start working. He may get distracted here or there but kind of jar himself and get himself back together. But it's a fight. It's a part of our process. We have to go through it. Okay. I'm also, there is a YouTube channel that I heard about that I'm wanted to start looking at to see about ADHD, living with ADHD, and the different types of things to help them, live their normal life, right? How to do that. Stop calling him out like that. You always sticking up for him. Oh, you make me sick. I'm in sick of you. Y'all, JQ always sticks up for Mason. That's her little buddy. He doesn't even know it. She sticks up for him. Do you hear me? She fights for that baby. She fights for him. But he's a good kid. They're all good kids. She, out of all my three kids, them that one right there, she fights for. She fights for that baby right there. Let's see, ADH, coping mechanisms, I think is what I was trying to figure it out. Coping skills, mechanisms. But there's something that I wanted to, someone mentioned a YouTube channel that I was going to try to look into. Okay. But it's a fight. I'm not going to lie. There are some good days. There are some bad days. Today was a good day. He came in, he did what he had to do. Then next thing you know, he's gone. Right now he's asleep. It's lunchtime and he's asleep. He decided he wasn't going to eat. He's going to sleep. So he's in the bed asleep. So yeah, I guess I'm going to keep working until y'all ask questions. I'm going to process an invoice that I have to do. But y'all ask whatever questions that you need to ask. And I'm here. Let me open up my 18 screens. If I can get it to open. Sabrina says, I have a new 13-year-old. Will resume schooling in September. I'm relaunching world schooling with him after recent charter traumas. Currently developing a curriculum that works with his gifts and desires besides core necessities. Okay. So you're creating a whole curriculum for him, Sabrina? Like you're going to write a whole thing for him? That's a lot of work. It's possible. I welcome any advice for homeschooling teens. Pray hard. No, for homeschooling teens, I think it's important that you start, if you haven't already, but I think it's important that you push for independence. I could not get that out. My brain was not cooperating. It's important that you do that. And so what I will say to you more than anything else is as they get older, especially at that 13-year-old range, even at 12, like I started with Mason probably when he was 10, but the schooling is their responsibility. Yes, you're able to provide the information for them. You're there to help them do whatever it is that you need to do. But it is important for them to take on that ownership and that responsibility of learning. And so what that means is that you give them their assignments and they know what they're supposed to do. But you don't sit over them and you don't baby them to get their schoolwork done, right? There are consequences if you don't get your schoolwork done, okay? So that may mean, here's your schoolwork for the day. You have until whatever day, whatever time. You could say all day. It's whatever works for your family. But for us, you can't go to training. You can't go to practice. You can't go to games until your schoolwork is done. And so I don't care if it takes you all day, but when it's time to get ready to go, don't you hop your behind in my back seat thinking you're going to go anywhere. And you haven't done your schoolwork. And so that's one of the things is hold them accountable and get them personally, ready to take on that personal responsibility. Because at this point, depending upon what route you go, so if they start to do dual enrollment, during that time, it's going to be their responsibility to get that work turned in and all that stuff. You can't call the professor and say, excuse me, Mr. Professor, Ayana doesn't understand the assignment you sent. No, it's her responsibility to meet the deadlines, to ask the questions, to do whatever it is that she needs to do. And so you have to start instilling that in them. And so if I had to say anything to you, it would be instill that independence. It's going to be important. It's going to be major throughout the rest of their life, right? Whether it's finishing up high school or deciding to go to college, dual enrollment, in a workforce, whatever the case may be. There are all times that we have to do stuff that we do not enjoy, we do not like, but it's our responsibility. And so it's time for you to start instilling that in your child, That would be my biggest suggestion, right? For them to gain some independence and understand the importance of that, okay? In the past, we used Kamali. Yeah, we've used Kamali too. We've used their workbooks, and it was okay. It was okay. It was okay. Son, can you get me some water? Some more water? Get out of here. And so yeah, Kanesia said facts, hilarious, talking about praying. Emily says, I'm new here. What writing curriculum do you suggest for sixth grade? He is 11 and struggles with writing essays, reports, and etc. IEW is dope. The Institute of Excellence in Writing is great curriculum, is a great curriculum when it comes to writing. Your son, you're in here on the green screen with no shirt on. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Thank you. That is a absolutely wonderful curriculum. What I would suggest that you do, because it's a little confusing as to what you need to purchase and when you need to purchase it and all that good stuff. What I would say to you is go to the Institute of Excellence of Writing, go online, and then call them and say, this is what I have. I have a sixth grader who struggles in writing. What can I do, or what program do you suggest? Where do you suggest that I start with? And I did that, and they basically laid out, okay, you need this piece and you need this piece, and go ahead and do that. And I think it was less than $100 at the time. I don't know 100% sure off the top of my head, but that is a great, great program. I really like that. And sometimes I go back to it still to this day because my kids try to pretend like they don't know how to write stuff. I'm like, oh, you learned this, fam. I know you learned this. Yes, absolutely. I literally write on his board last week, self-accountability and self-responsibility. Thank you. We started when we were in third grade. It had been back and forth a bit over the years. Yeah, accountability is great. I mean, it's really important in that instance. it's very important because kids, right? And I'm not gonna lie, we all kind of did it, and sometimes we all still do it. Like, we don't want any pieces of it. We don't want to do it, but we have to do it. And that's just a part of life, okay? It's part of life. You got to get to the fun part. But in order to get to the fun part, you got to do the work, right? Right? We don't go out there, and I say tricking off money, but we don't go out there having a good time with our friends and we haven't went to work all week, right? Because if we do, we ain't going to be able to pay bills. Like, it all kind of adds up, right? It all kind of adds up. You're welcome, Emily. Good question. It's okay. I understood what you said. I read it wrong. I should have changed it, but I did understand what you're saying. You're fine. Okay. All right, guys, you got me here for another 3 minutes. If you have any more questions, you are more than welcome to ask. I think I am going to, I said this last time about the practice though. I'm going to do my best to come live. I said during practice, and practice has been, there's just been a bunch of different things going on. But I think I am going to, I think I am going to go, I'm going to try this lunchtime thing. I think this might work a little bit better because we typically don't have anything scheduled. It's actually the time that I try to get my work done with you guys, like answer emails, all that stuff. But this might work a little better for everyone. Okay. All right. One last question, and then we're going to get off of here. Let's see. Sabrina said, thank you. Definitely not looking to create a curriculum from scratch yet, looking to see what may be the best for him at the time. He needs a better program, possibly with additional instructors. So are you thinking of like something online, Sabrina? Or like, what are you thinking of? All right, I'm going to answer Sabrina's question when she gets back to me, but I wanted to remind you one last time, go to tailormadehomeschooling.com so you have access to the live panels that are happening next Monday through Friday. They're going to be amazing. Working in homeschooling, mental health and homeschooling, single parent homeschooling. What else, y'all? Hold on. Let me get all this list together so y'all know what we're going to talk about. If I can spit that out. Let's see. Working in homeschooling, mental health and homeschooling. My kids are getting on my nerves. Those wrapped in one, right? Should I be homeschooling? Single parent homeschooling, and a homeschooling socialization. How to socialize our babies, right? And that is something currently that I am fighting with myself because of, I ain't telling y'all, you're going to have to come to the panel. You're going to have to come to the panels to hear all that, okay? Let's see. Yes, you are. Okay, Sabrina. So you're looking to outsource it? Is that what I'm understanding? There's different options, and I because you use a Kamali Academy, I have thoughts. Now I'm going to give you some options on it, but I have thoughts about it, and I don't know if what I'm going to give you as far as suggestions is going to work based off of you using Kamali Academy. But what I will say is that you could do Power Homeschool. You could do Acellus. Acellus is more of kind of like K through 12 a little bit. So it's more of, I don't want to say it's public school online. It's not public school online though, but it's an accredited, it's kind of like Abeka, right? So Abeka has their version of buying curriculum and then you teach at home, and then they have an accredited program where they do all the grades and the transcripts and all that stuff. That's what Acellus is. Okay, so Acellus does that type of stuff. So that's an option as well. If you're looking for videos, you also have OutSchool. OutSchool can get pretty pricey though. What I would say to you is, hey, Destiny, yes, I am live. Yep, I'm live, but only for a few more minutes. Um, what I would say to you about what were we talking about? Outschool can be expensive. But what I will say to you is that someone posted in a group that you can get some type of funding through their program. They do funding up to like $300 per family. And so I would file for it and see what they say, what happens. But if you're looking for somebody to do it, um, not necessarily face to face, that might be an option. You also have Achieve Success Tutoring. I've talked about them a lot. They are some moms. They are homeschooling. Well, the owner allowed her son to make the choice of whether or not to return to school. So he returned to school this year, but they are passionate about education and educating our babies. They love educating our babies. Like they actually enjoy it. Like, oh, this is a passion. Like how I love educating y'all and helping you. That's how they are about the babies. And so Achieve Success is a good option. They have a whole entire school where you can send them to, and they do classes via Zoom. And so that's an option as well. Okay, so hopefully that helps, Sabrina. If you need me to send any of that information, message me and I will do that probably in the next couple of hours or so. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. I'm going to jump off of here. Do me a favor. Everybody go to the website, tailormadehomeschooling.com, so that you can get access to the live panels next week. You don't want to miss it. There will not be another opportunity for these particular panels. Okay. Like that is what it is. Okay. I'm out here in these homeschool streets, y'all. Y'all come join me. Okay. Let's see. Thank you. We've had a co-op in the past as well. Yes, it has helped. You give them much. I will connect soon and attend conference. Okay. Alrighty. All right, guys. I will see you guys later. I'm going to try again to come live tomorrow. Don't hold me to it because life and husband and 3 kids, right? Okay. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful day, absolutely wonderful Monday, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye, guys.